Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I have got game number 1 of a best of 1. It is a ladder game and I am really looking forward to it because it's Zerg versus Terran and I don't seem to cast enough of those anymore and it makes me a very sad panda. Anyway, Neoplanet S is the host of this game, so let me introduce these two players. Down in the bottom left, spawning as the blue Zerg player from Team Liquid, it is TLO. And his opponent in the top right, the teal Terran, it is none other than Frums. Now, Frums is a cool name. I think it's Frums, not Frums. Frums is what I want to say. And interestingly, I typed that into Google Translate. I don't know why, I just felt like it. And it auto-detected Icelandic as the language for Frums. I have no idea if that's true. But the interesting thing about that is when you translate the Icelandic word Frums into English, it means cellulite. Isn't that made that nickname a million times less cool now? Of course, Google Translate could be wrong. I'll be really interested if anyone can speak Icelandic to actually inform me whether or not Frums does mean cellulite, which would be incredibly funny. It would amuse me quite a bit. Anyway, Neoplanet S is the map. It looks like we've got a barracks coming down here, and by it looks like there is a barracks coming down here, followed up by gas. So it should be some Reapers coming down here from our Terran player up in the top right. Meanwhile, TLO sending his overlords in a nice little path, checking for any proxy malarkey that could be going on because no one likes proxies, and then going to go hatch first because it's ZvT. And of course you go hatch first because that's the way you play this every game, especially on Neoplanet S, because see this area? This is quite narrow. Generally it's not too hard to hold, therefore rushes don't work too well. And against Terran anyway, they don't tend to work too well, because even if they're going CC first, they probably make it as part of the wall off. You would hope they would anyway. Now, being a Reaper expand, which is what I'm really putting my money on now, just by the timings of various things, the Reaper count is going to be really important. If it's just the one, then that screams to me that it's for scouting mainly. Just kind of poking, trying to pick off a couple of lings if they can, but once the Queen's out, it'll all be shut down. Option 2, though, is a really nice build, which is where you get 2 Reapers down, and you come in, you have to then kill quite a few Zerglings or a couple of drones, but it's a follow-up from that, which is really awesome, which generally tends to be a factory. And you get out, say, 4 Hellions. 4 Hellions plus 2 Reapers are actually a right nightmare to deal with as a Zerg player. And you can actually pick off a Queen quite comfortably, especially if you're harassing with the 2 Reapers first, putting them out, healing them up, and then coming back in. So that's always really cool to see coming down. But yep, it looks like it is going to be that second Reaper. The Overlord is going to see them, though, so knows there's at least 1 Reaper coming out, knows there's no command center yet, and has a good idea about what the opening is. So TLO, how does he react to that? 4 Zerglings instantly coming out, starts the Queens up nice and quick, and really he just wants to make sure that he stays on creep, doesn't lose Zerglings unless he has to, because while Zerglings aren't drones, they could have been, and these first 4 are fine, but if he has to get out, say, another 4, another 6, another 8 plus, that's really starting to hit into the number of drones which could have been on the field, could have been mining, and that's never something that you want to be happening. So TLO just keeping these 4 here, keeping them back, saying, come on Reaper, come and give it a go. The big thing TLO is waiting for is just a couple more Queens, because once the Queens come out, they outrange the Reapers massively, they basically never die to Reapers, and they should be able to deal some nice damage. But the Reaper going to try and pick off any Zerglings it can by kiting them backwards, picking them apart slowly, but there's the Queen starting to chip away. The second Reaper, though, is ready to come into this mix, start dealing some damage. Behind this, of course, for Frums, we see that the command center is in construction, the factory and reactor also on their way, so the follow-up looks to be what I was expecting, getting up those Hellions and going to start poking and prodding in. So TLO taking these 2 gas, a very normal time for those 2 gases. Second one is a little bit early, but that's not a huge problem. The Zerglings in a good spot, trying to surround these Reapers. Will they manage to get one? No is the answer. 10 health remains, but of course that's enough with combat drugs to just get away and heal up very fast, and that, simply put, means that they can come back in full health again with the aid of the Hellions that should get started as soon as this factory lands in order to really start dealing some significant damage. In terms of resources lost, we can see that only 50 resources have gone down so far for TLO. Nothing yet lost though for Frums, so of course he's being infinitely cost effective, and if he keeps that up for say another 5 minutes, he's going to be in a very good stead to win this game. Now, what can TLO do? Get down a Rotoron is probably one of his best decisions, and he has got one started, because that's going to really help against both the Reapers and the Hellions that are coming. And the first Hellion has been spotted by this Overlord. This is a critical Overlord to know that's there, and that's really what triggered the Rotoron to begin. And I just love that play, really, from TLO. He's going to spread some great creep. He's up to 4 Queens. He's really in a good spot to defend this. Interestingly, not opting to put down any Evolution Chambers to get the wall off, but, ooh, Cloak Banshee following this up. Of course, Cloak does cost less resources now, so you can very much do this quite comfortably without too much of a gas commitment. It's a right nuisance to deal with too, because if the lair isn't done in time, if there aren't any spore coolers down, that simply means that a Zerg player is going to take damage, and there's nothing really they can do about that. Third hatch also coming down here. If we take a look at Frums' vision, sorry, that was TLO's vision, get this right. Frums' vision, he can't see it yet, but he's probably wondering where is this creep spread going. Sees one of the creep tumors get cancelled, so he pulls them back. TLO doing a good job of keeping the active creep tumors alive. Very smartly done there. He's also got the wall off here with that single evolution chamber. No second evo though. Oh, sorry, there it is. So yep, there's a second upgrade coming. Missile attack is on its way, so committing quite heavily to that. This could be quite an interesting strategy. Generally, ZvT, you tend to see, say, Roach Hydra Viper. Roach Hydra Mutalisk. You can sometimes get some Vipers in there for Blinding Cloud against Mech, but normally Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk into Ultralisk. That works nicely. The +1 missile attack, though, says he's not going to be going for that. Maybe expecting some kind of Mech play. We do have the first single Banshee, though, coming through, and this is going to start picking away at the Queen, dealing some nice little bits of damage. Good transfuse, though, just means that it should stay up. Cloak has now triggered, and that's where the Queens have no choice but to retreat. The Hellions and Reapers trying to make their way through. Up behind this, we can see that, actually, it is a Mech-style play coming down here from Frums. TLO, I don't think he scouted anything too critically out, but knows the timing of most things. We do have the Banshee just picking away as much as possible. Hasn't racked up a single kill yet. The second Banshee is also on the field, but only just now making its way forward. And oh my goodness, we got killed. The first Banshee was taken down because there was an Overseer there. The 3 Queens doing a nice job. The 4th Queen still staying back at home, but because 3 Queens have been pulled and there's only 4 Queens in total, that means that 2 injects are getting missed. Back behind this though, Widow Mines on their way out. A 3rd command center here for Frums as well. But even though he's going mech, he's got to be a bit careful because this 3rd CC very fast. TLO does have his 3rd up. He's also generating creep around, which just means that he's got slightly better creep spread, also got some good vision, and it's just all good times generally. The spore coolers are down at each of the bases, so that means this Banshee probably is not going to have too much fun trying to pick things off. I'd imagine there was an Overseer somewhere close to hand as well, because that's been there for quite a while. And there we go, it is coming back now. Just going to say, okay, there we go. There is the Banshee, the Queen coming forward, trying to save some of these creep tumors. That's the important thing. And now with 3 Queens there, one will just go down, but the Banshee dies to kill it. And of course, a Queen for a Banshee is a very good trade on TLO's side. A Raven with the composition now just means the creep tumors can get taken down very easily. The siege tank's sitting there, Hellbat's coming out, but TLO is getting a lot of roaches out. He's up to 15 roaches, 8 more on the way. He's got the 1-1 upgrades. Is he going to go for a big roach bust? He doesn't have a baneling nest. That's the one thing to note, that no banelings can come punching through here yet. The siege tank count is not yet too high, but that is another one in production, and probably going to be 3 unless TLO goes very quickly. But as I say that, as roach speed kicks in, TLO is making his way forth with an Overseer there. Of course, the Overseer with the new speed buff just means that it keeps up very, very nicely with everything. Yeah, going to be able to give some high ground vision. See those tanks there. The 3rd getting checked, just see if it's around. And with these tanks in this position, the roaches can actually take them out from the low ground. This is incredibly frustrating. And Frums loses both tanks. This is disastrous for him. Of course, the Widow Mines can be seen, one of which is about to go off cooldown. Does get a shot off before getting taken down. A Seeker Missile trying to go down, but the damaged or targeted roach moved out the way. 1 Viking is there, which means the Overseer will go down, but there's just so many roaches here. Things looking very dangerous now for Frums. His wall has been breached. There's quite a few Hellbats that deal nice damage, but of course the SCV count is starting to plummet. Behind this, TLO just rallying more roaches across the map. 8 more in production, getting +1 melee and +2 ground carapace. Another tank has made it into the mix, but 2 roaches starting to work its way through. That SCV is getting pulled. Frums is taking so much damage. TLO just plowing through absolutely everything that he can, picking off these SCVs, dealing the good damage, and to be honest, it is all looking very good for him now. The natural base being forced to lift. We've got a couple of Overlords sitting there, still got vision of the high ground. Oh no. A supply cooldown was used here. If this goes down, that is a lot of supplies suddenly gone, but Frums is in no danger of getting supply blocked. Just trying to use these 2 tanks to pick apart everything, but the supply depot is about to fall. It's so disastrously close. Are the SCVs just repairing quickly enough? It looks like yes, they are. Very good save there from Frums. TLO though, he's taken out the natural. He's killed 36 workers. He's currently sitting at 79 drones to just 28 SCVs. His economy is nearly 4 times greater than that of his opponents, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and secure up a 4th soon if he wants to go that route. But for the moment, the infestation pit, the spire is there. Creep spread coming down all around. There's now 3-4 tanks up on the high ground, so that means that Frums can defend quite nicely, but he's just lost so much. Can the mules be enough to bring it back? The 3rd orbital command is down, but of course course, TLO knows about that. So if he doesn't secure up a fourth fast, he's got to go. But he's going to take the gold, because that's the sort of boss the TLO is. He's just like, well, you ain't moving out your base, so I'm going to take the gold base, because I can do that. Also generating tons of creep around. This is incredibly frustrating, because if we look at the anti-air currently available for Frums, it's 2 Widow Mines. That's the only anti-air he has. His Viking seems to have disappeared, which is unfortunate, and that means nothing can be made down here. The 2 Widow Mines are trying to be used to take out those Overlords. One goes down, but there's still so much creep spread here, and Roach is coming in once again, going to pick off a couple more SCVs. This is incredibly frustrating. The tanks on the high ground can be granted vision by these Overlords, so are getting taken down. Only a few more remain. The supply depot can't go down. These poor SCVs are getting annihilated. TLO taking the top left base behind this as well. Double expanding, triple expanding now, and he is looking very, very good. He's broken into the main base. The tanks are dealing some really good damage, but Roach is trying to hug up to them and take them out. All the tanks now down, and I think Frums is going to have no choice but to GG. And there we go, GG and smiley face. And TLO was victorious. So that was a cool little game. TLO showing that you can both macro and get a lot of roaches out of 3 bases and plow his way through. So congratulations to him. If you enjoyed the cast, make sure that you like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. And I'll be back tomorrow with yet another new video. Thanks for watching. I'm Madals, and bye for now.